Hi, Book Monster Mitch. I just want to talk about some books I really would like to finish before 2026 ends. And I know as of recording this, it's April or getting close to the end of April of 2026, so you might be saying to yourself, it's only April. You've got time, you've got months before 2026 ends. And you're right in saying that, thinking that. No argument. It's just I'm a slow reader. I take my time and don't read quickly. So, anyway, let's jump right into the books. One book for sure I like to finish in 2026 is Empire of Silence, book 1 in the Sun Eater series, Christopher Rucchio. I've talked about this book quite a few times on the channel and the series altogether. Among others, I've talked about the book and the series on this channel. And look, not long before recording this video, I finished chapter 25. Excuse me. Chapter 25 of Empire of Silence. So right now I'm more or less 250 pages into the book of more or less 800 pages. So I have a good way to go before the end of the book and the end of the series for sure, but I'm just focusing on book by book. So, yeah. To put into perspective of, I just said, you're probably thinking you have time before the end of 2026. And then after that, I said, that it takes me a while to read a book. To put that in hindsight or perspective, I've been reading Empire of Silence, folks, since January of this year, and it's getting close to the end of April, like I said, now. So that right there might tell you how slowly I read, and with some with something like Sun Eater, I have to take my time to try to understand what Rucchio and the character Hadrian Marlowe is trying to tell me. I'd like to sit here and tell you that within a month, I read the whole book of Empire of Silence. And no offense to anybody who could read that quickly. I can't. I won't be able to, because if I do that, I won't know what's going on within the story, within the world, the universe that Raikio and the characters are trying to convey to me as the reader. So what's the point? Anyway, moving on from it, Empire of Silence and Sun Eater. Another book I'd like to finish, and this is highly possible that I'd finish it, I just have to get on it, is J.A.J. Minton, The Family from Talking Story YouTube channel. Their first book in Strange Eon series, Discovery. I'm getting close to, I believe, 40%. I think I'm sitting right around 35% of the book read, so it's possible that I could finish it before the year's out. It's highly possible. And then there's a few other books I want to mention that I'd like to read. Just Discovery and Empire of Silence are priority for the rest of the year. These handful of books I'm going to mention now, or, if there's time, I'll get to them in 2026, if not 2027 or later, because what's the rush? So the three books I'd like to mention in this category are Heir to the Empire, Book 1 of Star Wars Thrawn Trilogy, Timothy Zahn. Look back on the channel, I've mentioned that book in series several times already. So that is very possible that I could finish it within 26, because as of recording, I haven't read it in a while. I haven't read this particular book in quite some time, but I believe I'm sitting around 80% of the book read, so I have roughly 20% of the book to go before I finish it. Now, that being said, of course, like I said, it's book 1 of the Thrawn trilogy, so when I finish it, I still have 2 books to go in that series before the series is complete, but just focusing on, like I said, 1 book at a time. The other 2 books I haven't even started, don't know when I will want to or be able to start them. Just throwing these two in for argument's sake. The first book I'm going to mention is, of course, Howling Dark, book 2 of Sun Eater series, Christopher Rocket. And that being said, I'm throwing that in there as a possibility because, of course, I have to finish Empire of Silence before I can worry about any of the remaining books in the series. But, on the chance that I'm able to finish Empire of Silence within this year, it just depends how and when I would like to go into the next book, Howling Dark. The last book I'm going to mention is book 1 of the trilogy that I talked about starting on Facebook not too long ago, but I just haven't yet. And that's because I have so many books and stories going right now that in hindsight or afterthought, I didn't want to throw yet another book onto the pile just yet. So that book I'm talking about is Joe Abercrombie's First Law, book 1 of the trilogy, or original trilogy, and that is The Blade itself. So if and when I'm able to get to that in 2026, that's another book I'm looking toward, and another series I'm looking toward to getting into. These aren't the only books I have started and would like to get to, but this is a handful of books I've started, books I'd like to get to whenever possible. So let me know if you've read any of these, your thoughts on them, and please no spoilers for me or anybody who hasn't gotten to them yet down in the comments. That's the only thing I ask, but anything else, like if the writing style of the author is good or bad, if the story of that book or series is good or bad, anything like that, please let me and the rest of us know in comments. But with that, I'll close this video, and as always, have a good day, good evening, take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll talk to you soon.